Diego returns home victorious. 2 data sites down, 0 molecular condensers. We're going to be here a while. We might do something else in between. So next door in Mormalot, we have found a Serpentis hideout, which is a combat site, but is not a DED site. Hideouts are one of the, or perhaps the lowest difficulty tier on the list of the unrated complexes, so we should have no problem clearing it in a destroyer. So once we finish scanning down the other signatures in the system, we will head back to Minar and hop into, maybe not Carmella, maybe a T1 railgun fit catalyst, and come back and do that hideout. Although we also found a data site. Aegis Secure Transfer. That is not a regular data site. That's a special data site. It's a mixed data and combat site that's designed for pretty high level play, and I believe it's associated with getting ESS keys. Oh, this is a high level relic site. Well, it's a lot of cans. All right, one at a time. I'm sure some of these cans are going to have very hard characteristics in the minigame. We will do our best. That's all we can ever do, right? Whoa. Pacifier decloaked on us. Spooky. Fortunately, we were on the ball. Oh. This game just never stops. Do you think we would get a moment of calm? No. It does make me have second thoughts about running that hideout right now, though. We're gonna fly on a little bit and explore some other systems. Pacifier. Pacifier is a co-op ship, but it's a very expensive one that has full set of combat bonuses, but it still does have a decloak delay, which is how we were able to get off before he could lock us up there. Okay, we found both a Rogue Drone Asteroid Infestation and a chemical yard here in Gradisir, and there's no one else in system. That's a Rogue Drone DED site and a Rogue Drone unrated combat site. This will be a welcome break from hacking and being hunted by pacifiers. Let's go get a ship. This is Bill. Bill wants to build a Cynabal and join the Angel Cartel cause in Zarzak, but he's not making it easy on himself. This is Orion the Archer. With thorium and his 125mm railguns, he can shoot out to 20 kilometers optimal, well, 19 kilometers optimal, and almost 30 fall off. His power grid is 100% full, and CPU almost as well. This should be a pretty good PvE, like anomaly and signature combat fit for the catalyst, so I'm pretty excited to try this out. Okay, first up, we're going to run this Rogue Drone Asteroid Infestation. DED 3 of 10. So basically the same difficulty level as that Serpentis Narcotics warehouse that we ran with Thomas, only this is drones. So we're going to see if indeed a T1 railgun catalyst can handle this. I'm pretty sure we will be able to. This complex was once the work field of a wealthy mining corporation. Its power coils were severely drained and are to this day only capable of hurling smaller vessels between complex pockets. The ruins are now reported to be infested with a strain of rogue drones. Okay, let's align away from those drones and start popping them one by one with our railguns. One shot. Is that it? Looks like that might be it. This section of the complex was once a pocket of very valuable minerals. Most of the ore was mined away decades ago. Oh man, look at all this Veldspar. That's worth remembering. Okay, that's a lot more of them in here. Okay, we align away. Oh no, don't fly towards. Align away. Let them fly to us, and we start popping. Oh, it looks like they are not noticing us yet. Okay. And we're going to take some time to reposition. This is pretty satisfying how fast they go down. Gotta say. What are those red containers? Fancy container over there. We could probably still kill this guy at 38, but we can't target him. There we go. Overseer effects. Take that. Maybe this time we'll manage to get them to somewhere we can sell them before we get blown up. Dark compound. Okay. Reprocesses into a little bit of minerals. Fair enough. Oh, I feel like way back in the day, drones used to just drop that stuff as loot. They didn't drop modules or anything, and they still don't, although the faction ones do. But they just dropped compounds for reprocessing, so that you could essentially mine by just killing drones. I wonder, I thought they'd gotten rid of those, the drone goo entirely, but I guess they just moved it into some of the canisters in these exploration sites. That would make sense. It's funny that like one unit of it though, right, reprocesses into a grand total of 32 oxygen and 8 noxium. That's pretty funny. Once housed a thriving center for miners operating in the dead space field. The old station ruins that still remain are evidence enough that some decades back this area was highly valued. There's no gate in here, so this is the last pocket. And there's a whole bunch of these little guys. We're going to start picking them off. We're going to align away and just start picking guys off. And a bunch of mineral containers. I do like the sound of that. And a rogue drone. Okay, container. Interesting. Taking 0 damage thus far. Blaster catalyst, sorry, railgun catalyst seems to be the right thing for this site. I'm pretty glad that I wasn't in there trying to fight all those guys with blasters. All right, let's check out the scratched cask first. It's red. Definitely seems like the most interesting. More overseer effects. Okay, I wonder what the rogue drone container. Crystal compound. What do you reprocess into? Yeah, okay, we'll take it. Let's check out these mineral containers. And bounce off this asteroid on our way over. Do you actually contain minerals? You do. Not much, but we'll definitely take 400 pyrite, 400 mexilon, 1000 titanium, 400 mexilon. Alright, doesn't change our lives. The Rogue Drone Asteroid Infestation was a little underwhelming, but we did it easily enough. There must be a rare faction spawn that can occur there. So we'll try the next one we find as well, and hopefully we'll get it. The chemical yard, I think, is maybe too much for us. No, we should be able to do chemical yard as well. Yeah, let's try the chemical yard. Another rogue drone site, but this one's an unrated complex, not a DED. Let's see if we handle this one just as easily in Orion as we did the infested asteroid. Whoa, that's actually a lot scarier than what we just fought. We might have to bail from this. I guess we'll see though. Maybe just try and take out the cruisers first actually, since we spawned nearest to them. Yeah, the cruisers are going down relatively quickly. Okay. Maybe this isn't as scary as it looked at first blush. There's these strains actually I'm a little bit worried about. Oh, he's webbed me. These are elite frigates. We should definitely deal with the strain guys first. Do not like being webbed. This is going well, but this is actually a pretty interesting engagement for us. With those cruisers and the frigate swarm, and then these elite frigates that can web us, and this big structure in the way on the grid. This is actually we're having to pay a little bit of attention to how we fly. I don't mind at all. Okay, now I have to fly over to these other guys. Tell them what's up. Yeah, that's everyone. Next room. That was a pretty intense first room, to be honest. Whoa. Yeah, well, there's no gate, so it's only 2 rooms. That's a good start. Good sign. A lot of these guys seem to be mining flavored. So hopefully that means they don't do too much damage. They're not all aggroed on us yet. So we'll take out this group of harvesters, and then we'll fly over and we'll take out this group of diggers. The miners seem to be the most aggressive. Oh, and now some of the other guys are aggressing on us. And more guys just spawned. Okay. This is... and they're destroyers. This feels like it might get hairy pretty fast. But we're going to line out and let them chase us. We've got railguns. No one seems to be doing substantial damage to us at range. This dismantler is grazing us. Figures are getting in range now. Oh, there's a sentient drone. That's a faction drone. Yeah, that's good news. I think he can drop interesting stuff. Drones do have faction modules, but they're like... seem to be super rare. They tend to be a lot more expensive than the other faction modules, so the drops must be rare. I'm not really sure. I've not run very many drone combat sites in my day. I know they also can drop like chips and stuff, which are used for building more advanced drones and maybe some kinds of ships. Honestly, the whole industry side of this game is something that I've been learning how to do through the course of this challenge. Most of the like industrial materials in the game, I had no idea what any of them were for before we started doing this. I know that these drones do drop chips that are useful in some kinds of advanced industry, and maybe it'll be industry that's within our reach. Regardless, I am very curious to see what this sentient predator alveor drops. If he drops anything. I don't see any like containers or overseer structures in this pocket, so the loot from this site must be dropping from this guy. What do you have, sentient drone? Oh, he's down. Does he have anything in his wreck? He does have something in his wreck. Interesting. Oh yeah, there's also, they drop drone components for making the augmented drones, which are like better than T2 drones. If they drop blueprints as well, we could build some of those and leapfrog past T2 with drones like we're hoping to do with modules, with Dead Space modules. We'll see what we get. Yeah. So these are components for advanced drones. And I don't know what these Nexus chips are for. This chip is part of little understood evolved rogue drone technology and apparently connects both to the drone's propulsion systems and to their sensory equipment, and thus plays a part in allowing them to detect and pursue objects, sites, or victims of interest. Unfortunately, it is extremely fragile and doesn't react well to being forced into any machinery other than its native habitat, meaning its uses as a research object are strongly limited by its availability. Some organizations in New Eden, particularly those interested in its exploration and dark sciences, are rumored to pay well for this kind of item. The 46X is designed for frigate-class vessels. So this flavor text makes me think it's Sisters of Eve who make use of this chip. So maybe this chip is required to build an Astro. That's a bit of a shame, because obviously it's worth 46 million on the open market, so it must be good for something, but we will not be able to get an Astro blueprint, I don't think, without talking to Sisters of Eve agents, which is obviously against the rules of the run. So that chip is probably going to go into our junk container and rot there forever, despite its hefty price tag. Unless there's an NPC that buys it? That's possible, actually. Now that I'm thinking about that flavor text again, it's possible that Sisters of Eve might just buy it. We'll puzzle on it, and we'll clear out the rest of this site, and then we'll head over to Marmalot, see if that pacifier is gone, and maybe run that Apprentice hideout after all. It's not a DED complex, it is an unrated complex, like that chemical yard was. So it's got a decent chance of spawning a faction rat, and also a chance of escalating into a whole other, like, weird sort of multi-chain adventure. So we'll see. Could be fun. 3 frigates, pretty straightforward. Few more frigate. Yeah, Orion the Hunter here, making this look easy. Swarms of enemies have never been less scary. On to the next room. Destroying the Apprentice Armory would greatly improve your odds of uncovering further illicit activity. Well, we shall destroy the Apprentice Armory. If we can find it. I don't see it on the overview. Apprentice Armory. There it is. Okay. Do you think that when we attack this Apprentice Armory, which we've been advised might uncover further illicit activity, that a whole huge wave is going to spawn on top of us? And the armory dropped a cargo container. Make sure to check that out. Pretty underwhelming. Okay, so check out all this loot we pulled in. As is so often the case in this run, the first thing I want to say is, if we were collecting this stuff to sell it, we'd be pretty happy. 110 million ISK, that's not bad at all for a couple of hours in low sec and a T1 frigate and a T1 destroyer. Of course, we're not selling it, so we got to look at this stuff and see how useful it is for us. And there, the results are a little bit less encouraging. And there is this Rogue Drone 46X chip, which is valued at 45 million ISK. But like I said, I don't think that we can do anything with that unless the Sisters of Eve will just buy it from us. I don't think they will. So it turns out that I can just redeem this Rogue Drone 46 chip with Sisters of Eve. Apparently I can just bring it to the station and hand it over to them. Hey sisters, I got a drone chip. Well, this is awkward.